So if you crack a joke, a joke and ask your 17-year-old brothers, yo, you f***ing girls yet?
I'm not cracking a joke. That's not a joke.
You know, I woke up this morning ready to choose violence because I said, if Joe don't talk about this academic situation, I'm gonna have to get him. But luckily, I saw Joe address it. So we gonna check it out. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
They're saying Ak has been permanently banned from Twitch.
I saw that.
I just saw that, yeah.
They're also saying that Steak unfollowed him. I haven't fact-checked these things, but just a quick peruse on the phone said that just now.
Damn.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's ugly.
Yeah.
What does banned from Twitch mean? See, I'm not familiar with Twitch.
What's banned from Instagram?
Can't use it no more.
Same. Can't stream, can't do
That's
nothing.
it. You're done.
You could ban me from using Twitch?
It's a platform.
Yeah, they take your account.
But the account that
he had, I think, some type of special deal with them.
The account
and I've had a deal with Twitch, and it's in that contract where there's certain shit if any of this happened, it's like how we talk about the morals clause and a lot of stuff. I know this is done.
Hey, yo, same thing with me.
Yeah.
They had special rules in my shit because I told them I'm gonna go on the edge. You know what I mean? But
what I will say about that act, he put on a masterclass in how to not handle something. He did eventually come around, and say the right things and apologize, and I was wrong, and we got to be held accountable, and us streamers have a large audience, so we got to love the kids and be kind. He did all of that, but it was after
the fact.
It was after he said some other things, and part of the other things was, what the f*** y'all gonna do, cancel me? You can't.
Can't cancel something that you didn't help build.
Which I guess might be true if you're talking about fans, but it's not true when you're talking about companies. You can ask the Fresh and Fit when they got demonetized off of YouTube, and it's a thing. So
Ye said that. Adidas, what they gonna do? They can't get rid of me. And then they got rid of him.
But he ended up,
I'm just saying, companies. I wouldn't go around challenging companies.
Right.
I wouldn't be double daring companies to cancel me.
People just be thinking like Joe just said. When you speak of cancellation, you're talking to the crowd. Like, y'all don't have the power to do nothing to me. Not realizing that there are some people out there that still got some power.
And the companies react off the people.
Yeah.
Enough noise making
enough of that noise. Y'all think that these companies are not reading tweets and checking the temperament on some of them contracts they got? You are wrong. Let me be the one to tell you.
There's a bigger message here, and I fuck with Ak, so I'm gonna be mindful.
That's the downside to having that kind of stan culture fan. The downside is they standing for whatever your action is. So if it's bad and they put enough noise on it, the people that you in bed with that wouldn't have seen it, they see it. Now, go ahead. What you saying, Flip?
No, so the bigger message is that, how, because they use the certain words like grooming and stuff like that. They're just using these words that is foreign to us. And I hate to say where we come from or how we grew up, and not making an excuse, but you are a product of your environment, meaning that when it comes to teenage boys or whatever, we encourage them to, yo, get that girl or do that. We had those conversations. It's been like that since the older niggas around me did it with me. I did it with my son, you know what I mean? Not saying that it's right, it is wrong. Now
if you acknowledge it as wrong, then what are you saying?
I'm acknowledging that it's wrong, but I'm saying that it's not foreign. That behavior. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not new. You know what I mean? Like, if of course,
Great.
when, yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. I think it's wrong.
So
100%.
we're in a place today where that behavior is being checked and people are being educated on things.
And I agree.
I think
but you have to learn it. There are consequences. Yeah, and you have to learn in real time. See, everybody act like they smart and they fucking overnight they learn how to abide by society rules and shit like that and what's right and wrong. You have to learn in real time when you're taught something, especially from the Caribbean. Like, these things are, like, you have to acknowledge that nobody wants to go to the source of things. They just want to point and laugh and blame. And I'm not saying anything with Ak. I'm not even co-signing him.
Ak was wrong.
He's cool. He was 100% wrong.
Dead wrong.
100% wrong. Period. Point blank, especially if the young man is saying what he's saying. I've seen things like that. That's what I'm saying. I've seen
and
it.
it's cool to be wrong and then go sit with it by yourself.
Yeah, don't be wrong and strong. That's what.
Or if you want to be wrong and strong, you don't have to put a camera on.
Got it.
You don't have to live stream you in your learning process.
Got it. Yeah.
You don't. You could take that. You could take that privately. Deal with
you know
that.
what you know what happens there though? You kind of become a victim of your brand. Like that's his brand of cutting my camera on and giving y'all whatever I think about everything right now.
His brand is not speaking to 15-year-old boys like that.
No. Correct. I'm talking about. You said you don't have to learn in real time with the camera on. I think that's part of his brand, though. Whatever I'm experiencing or whatever I'm talking about,
that's what I'm saying.
I have to cut the camera on. Like again, this is a different generation.
It's
they don't know how to turn the cameras off.
Unlearn it.
And you learn
Unlearn it. I'm not here to fucking preach.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to preach to nobody. It's difficult to unlearn things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is a habit and a tendency where, hey, I'm living my life in front of the camera, so they're just going to see it. I invented that, actually. And where some of us come from, to me, is not an excuse to groom. Like to say, I don't really know what that is. Okay, I understand that and I receive that. I ain't going to pretend like I really knew all the ins and outs about what grooming is either. But I also identified that there's plenty of grown men running around here not knowing that they were abused.
Exactly.
Not knowing that they were molested.
Mm-hmm. That's
not knowing that they were targeted by the, I don't want to trigger nobody, but yeah. So if we're not going to know what those things are, I wouldn't expect people to know what grooming are. And yes, if now's the time to have that conversation so everybody could sit and learn together, the people that need it.
Correct.
Then I clap for that.
I'm with you.
Word. True.
Yeah, round of applause.
And you know, the people that when you give pushback, they're gonna say, "Oh, you co-sign or you making excuses for act." No, I'm not. I want to be extremely clear when I say, listening to it, understanding it, he was wrong, and he acknowledged that. I'm saying that behavior isn't foreign when it comes to teenage boys. Not the other about the joke around, but it's not foreign when you're like, "Yo, get that girl," or "Hey, yo," you having those conversations.
That's misguided. Because teenage boys are not a monolith.
Okay.
Teenage boys don't cover the spectrum of teenage boys.
Gotcha.
Apparently, this young dude, and shout out to him, he sounded pretty intelligent.
Yes, he did.
Handled himself well in that stressful environment. But he's from another country somewhere, third world country, no parents, no friends, just from what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. So that's not the same as the teenage boy from the hood that got OGs and
that's what I'm talking about.
Is a little more experienced in hearing that type of talk or handling. That still don't make it okay.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm referring to.
It's apples and oranges.
I got
We
it.
can't just put all teenage boys in the same boat.
And it's a hard lesson.
And as an adult, I would hope you learn, listen, you shouldn't, this is wrong. This is wrong.
That's the underlying part right there. Like,
so if you crack a joke, if you crack
wrong.
a joke and ask your 17-year-old brothers, yo, you f***ing girls yet?
I'm not cracking a joke. That's not a joke. I'm asking my little brothers what's happening with you sexually.
Yeah.
It's not a joking matter.
So that I can educate you or guide you.
I ain't cracking on them. Like, let's talk about it. Where are you doing this? How are you doing this?
Yes.
Are you being safe? I'm not doing, you ain't getting no pussy, you gay, like all that they did in the 90s.
Nah, yeah, but yeah.
You know, it was a dude that came under fire, the rapper. I'm not going to say his name, but I forget how old his son was a teenager, and he was like, yo, I went and got some girls.
I remember that.
And paid them.
That was wild.
That was wild.
To get them right. And he thought he saw nothing wrong with that. It's people just f***ed up and don't even realize that they've been f***ed up. And they passing it on.
You have to go to the root of the problem, and like Joe said, you have to unlearn things. Just unlearn it, get educated, so that can't happen again. Now, anybody do something like that, even me, if I go crack a joke with Nico, like now I know how that comes off and how it looks.
Listen, you hug somebody the wrong way, there's a word for it.
Yeah, it's a charge today.
Yeah. So I feel like that is everyone's job and responsibility to go and learn what some of these phrases and terms and words mean, 1, 2, If you're blessed enough and privileged enough to make your living as a content creator, then it's your job and responsibility at a much higher clip.
That's a fact.
Right.
To go and understand what all this stuff is.
And it ain't just in that world. Like again, like you mentioned the hug. It used to happen in corporate that people did not know was wrong until it became a thing. Like, oh shit, we can't do that. Oh shit, we can. And now look at today, people are moving accordingly for the most part.
And if the 15-year-old is sitting there telling you, hey,
I agree with that.
This is grooming. I'm uncomfortable. You're going to put us in a case.
Yeah.
Then it's probably the time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, Flip. Joe saved you. And I'm glad you acknowledged that, because I was looking at you, Flip. I said, you teetering. You on the line. Because I saw it. They was going to say, Queen's Flip defends DJ Akademiks for weird clip with 15-year-old. I said, Flip, you better watch it. You close to the edge. Because look, I told y'all from the beginning, if Joe didn't talk about this, Joe, if you handled this like you handled some of that Diddy and look, just like Joe said about Ak, eventually Joe came to the platform and he did what he had to do when it came to talking about Diddy. But I said, this one, Joe, you can't make that same mistake, all right? So I'm glad to see Joe talking about this and having a serious conversation. Because at first I said, is he going to give Ak the kid gloves? And y'all know me, I report on Ak all the time. Really good or bad. But at the same time, when it's a situation this serious, you got to have a serious conversation. And I do feel like the Joe Budden podcast, they succeeded with that today, okay? Because I would be more than happy to tell y'all, I feel like they just kind of, gave Ak this little soft commentary. They didn't really get too into the situation. They just rushed past it. No, they didn't do that. They had a serious, well thought out, fleshed out conversation. I think the clip might be a little longer this week because this is a serious topic. And shout out to Joe and Flip because I love to see that relationship where Flip is coming from the Instagram video world and he's learning about this media game and how you need to conduct yourself. And that really has me skipping my notes because when you got a public platform, and Joe said this during the commentary, you need to get educated on these things. Y'all want to be TikTokers, YouTubers, and all that other stuff, but y'all don't understand how many things can get you out of here. And it don't matter what your intentions is. Sometimes you could be on your platform hurting people. I repeat, you could be on your platform hurting people. And that's not right. And they will get you up out of here. Y'all want to know why I really don't rock with TikTok that much? Because sometimes they look at my commentary as bullying. And if I want to get back on TikTok, I have to learn the laws of the land. I can't talk about celebrities on TikTok the way I talk about them on YouTube. And so I got to get educated. Now let's get back to the top of my notes where Joe was talking about how Ak handled the situation. And he said, sometimes be wrong off camera. And I was saying the same thing. I keep thinking about when Akademiks told Drake, I think you need to go away, after the beef, just go away and make people miss you. And I wonder, would Ak take his own advice? Maybe you need to go sit down for a couple of months. But see, Ak don't want to do that because he too scared that, he might lose a footing. Because see, that's how it is in this social media game, right? People are afraid if they go away too long, that when they come back, it won't hit the same. You know, sometimes people disappear for a month. They come back to streaming and YouTube and the viewers aren't there. Somebody may have came and took your spot. And I'm sure Akademiks don't want the Temu Akademiks, you know, the fake Akademiks. Act don't want that Act don't want the new Act to come up. You see what I'm saying? you get what I'm saying? So he gonna try to stay around and keep his foot on these necks. But maybe he do need to go sit down. I don't know. But you turning on the camera talking about F everybody and you can't cancel me and da 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 da. It was like, bro, you got all of these millions. You need a PR team. You need somebody. Go sit down and talk to your mama. Somebody, before you just get on the camera. At one time, he was cussing out the little boy. He said, yo, Black Boy Max, he didn't even F with you. I was like, you sound crazy. You look crazy. But that's the situation. I like how Joe mentioned, where you from, not an excuse. Just cause you heard Flip say, yeah, especially a guy from, overseas, he don't know. First of all, Ak been here since he was a baby. And Ak love to talk Jamaican whenever he got the fire on him. Ak. This is not an excuse. Every time he in a situation, he want to talk about he African. He ain't never African any time else. I don't even think Ak eat jerk chicken and oxtail, okay? No peas and rice, none of that. But every time he in a situation, he African. That's not an excuse, bro. Me African, me don't do no bumper clot. That's not no excuse, my boy. It's not. It's not. Now, to a more serious conversation, I think, like Joe was saying, a lot of these people don't know how toxic they were in the past because they don't know that they've been involved in situations that were inappropriate. Now, y'all know, I told y'all, I feel bad for Noir GXD because he's the little bad kid that is cool with all of these streamers. And, it's cute when he's being bad. But that don't mean as adults, because even Ak did this. He was like, yo, he be roasting on us too. But I was that kid. That's why I said I felt bad for him. And I pointed out, some of the stuff he's done on the internet, because I can relate to being that bad kid. I was running around my block, jumping out windows and shit like that. Everybody thought I was the bad kid. And you know what people did? They put me in situations that you shouldn't put a child in. And so I came to y'all and said, this is one of those situations that wakes me up. And yeah, a lot of us had inappropriate conversations with adults. A lot of us was in situations we shouldn't have been in with adults. And people try to justify that with, oh, that kid was bad and he be cussing and all that other stuff. And that was me. And it does make you realize, oh, people did that same kind of weird shit to me. And some of y'all walking around, y'all don't realize you was in a fucked up situation, but you want to hit, especially men, you want to hit yourself with that bravado. No, I'm tough. These new generations, they soft. No, it's different when you have a child. I was waiting for Joe to talk about his opinion as a parent, but I don't think he has to say that. I just think it's apparent that he looks at this situation with that lens of a parent. And it's different when you have a kid and you looking at that clip. And you saw Ice bring up Boosie. And Boosie, some of the stuff he says about his kids to me is crazy. Saying I went and got my son girls so he can lose his virginity. I even saw Boosie and his son on one of them videos where they popped the balloon. I said, what the hell is this? I wouldn't be doing no video where I'm looking for girls with my dad. Boosie, the same guy that said he didn't want his lesbian daughter to be around his other kids because, let me say that the right way, because he didn't want his lesbian daughter to affect his other kids. But y'all know what he meant. He meant that, like, you know, like she can pass that on. Like it was so. Some of these people out here, they don't realize how crazy the shit they say is, but they don't realize when you was young, you was hurt. I remember when people used to brag about trying to get Lil Wayne girls when he was young. No, if that's true, Wayne was hurt. I remember being young and people doing the same thing to me. I'm from Detroit. And people talking about they gonna get grown women for me. And grown women looking like they down to do it. And I'm talking, like, I'm not even a teenager. Some of these situations we was in, we got to understand it was effed up. And number two, we got to understand the generations now have to do better, and we have to learn to do better. So, you know, let me know what y'all think about this situation. Is it over for Ak? I'll see y'all next time. Peace.